the first president from sub-Saharan Africa to visit the White House since the assumption into office by President Donald Trump. The world watched the interaction of President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria and President Trump. And as expected, there's been a lot of reactions. Nigerians especially have been talking about issues of terrorism, the fight against corruption and other issues. This episode of Channels Beam is joining the conversation. I'm Ini John Mekwa, standing in for your regular host, Victor Matthias. Before we delve into the discussion, let's see the topics that trended the most on our social media platforms. Hashtag accolades trended last week. The buzz started when the wife of President Muhammadu Buhari tweeted that the president deserved some accolades with a picture of President Buhari shaking hands with President Trump. Hashtag Melaye also trended, especially when he was carried on a stretcher to the courthouse in Lokoja, Kogi State, for a case which the police has against him. Back in the studio to discuss President Muhammadu Buhari's visit to President Trump is Chude Achike. He is a social affairs commentator. welcome. Thank you for joining us on the program.
It's a pleasure. Yeah.
He's not going to discuss this topic alone. We're going to have others joining us from around the world. First of all, we have Victor Bamishaye. Well, he's like a regular face on Channels Beam. He's joining us from Ukraine. Victor, welcome to Channels Beam.
Thank you so much.
Well, and then we have Ben Cosmos. Ben Cosmos is joining us from Malaysia. Ben, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, and then a voice from the home front. We have Samuel Atiku joining us from Lagos. Welcome, Atiku.
Yeah, thank you for having me once again.
All right. Well, first, let's start with Chude in the studio. A lot of talks about the president's visit to the White House, the pros and the cons of it. A lot of people have said, well, what are the benefits? Will the U.S. allow Nigeria to enjoy so much or benefit so much without having their own share? What's your thought about the whole visit?
Well, I do not think that capitalism, allows for free lunch. And so even with the aids that have been coming to this country and Africa and all over the world, there's always something tied to it. It's clear. And so it's about the mutual benefits that both countries can gain from this, trip. And of course, we know that Nigeria has a lot of needs. Nigeria is in dire straits at this particular point in time in terms of the insecurity or security challenges that we're having. And then the parallel state of the economy is also of concern to a lot of people. And so the trip, essentially, from what we are told, is about governance, it's about the security issues in the country, it's about trade, it's about investments. And these are the things that were also discussed on this particular trip. But beyond that, again, is also the need to reap political capital from this trip, especially on the part of the president, because he has been going through a lot of difficult times with what has been going on in the country. The growing poverty, grinding poverty in the country, the insecurity problem which we talked about, the issue of corruption that seems unending and all of that. And so in all of this, I think there is something in it. for Nigeria in terms of the kind of response that the country will be getting from the United States if they show the kind of commitment that they have promised to the country.
Okay, so let's go to Ukraine now. Victor, what are Nigerians in Ukraine saying about this visit? And, well, now, one of the things we have heard is that the U.S. is ready to repatriate $500 million, which could be counted as one of the benefits of this. What are Nigerians saying about it?
Well, if I should feel the nerves of Nigerians and their mind, I want to believe that they are very happy at the trajectory of this administration. Things have not been rosy from the beginning, and even with every bed of roses, you'll find that you have their thorns. So, but the truth is that with the indices we are seeing, things are getting into shape. So, I think this is a trip that is most welcome, and with the repatriation of funds, we know how much. Not just the damage that the stolen funds have had, but the impact that the repatriation can have on our economy. That much money can help in further stabilizing economy and providing further liquidity. So I think this is a good omen that good times are ahead of us. And not just the repatriation of funds, but we hope that the Tucano jets could be fast-tracked and delivered on time. And we also hope that the bilateral trade can kick off as soon as possible so that Nigerians can begin to reap the dividends of the democracy that they voted for. Interesting times are ahead. Things have not been rosy, but the future actually looks good from here.